Welcome into Kitchen Talk Pickleball Edition. I'm your host, Caitlin Miller, and this week joining us is Ben Weinberger. He's the U.S. Open Pickleball Tournament Director and Pickleball Den CEO. Ben, we're about to have the biggest pickleball party in the world coming up in less than a week now with the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. How excited are you for this year?
Thanks, Caitlin, for having me here. We're super excited. The team has been working for months and months to put this together. As you can imagine, it is a year-long effort, and it is almost time for the party. So we're excited.
Now, I have to start off with the breaking news that came out today. Everyone's talking about it. We have two legends pairing up for pro mixed doubles. We have tennis star Andre Agassi, and then, of course, the number one player in the world, Anna Waters, pairing up. Agassi's making his debut at the U.S. Open. I mean, how awesome is it for your event?
We couldn't be more excited. It is exciting to welcome him to the stage, bringing together the spirit of competition. I think it really helps embody what the U.S. Open is all about. You're bringing together athletes, passion, performance, uniting people across different potential ages and sports. And to have Andre Agassi debut his pro competition with Anna Waters is unbelievable. The fans are excited. The buzz at the park today is incredible. So I can't wait to see them play. And I can tell by the inquiries we're getting, a lot of people feel the same.
Well, and I think it's just so special, especially about like the US Open. I love going every year. It's really my favorite, week of the year. And it's such an international event. We have people coming from all 50 states, 40 countries. But then to also see kind of the bigger picture with this Anna Waters, Agassi pairing up, it really just shows like the growth of racket sports as a whole and, tennis players, pickleball players uniting, and creating this sense of community.
Completely agree. If you go back in history of the U.S. Open, the roots, like all things, started, very modest, and it's really become the premier event in pickleball. As you said, we now have this year 40 countries. Last year we had 29, so a huge jump in international attraction this year. And the lottery this year had over 6,000 people try to get in. We ended up being able to accept almost 3,500 people. So really excited, as you said, all 50 states. I think it mirrors what everybody knows. Pickleball is exploding. It continues to be an incredibly popular sport. At the amateur level, this year we're featuring also a junior championships, the Yola Junior Championships on the opening weekend. So you've got, the youngest of competitors here, and amateurs, wheelchair athletes, professionals, senior professionals, and also on the opposite end of the spectrum from the juniors, we have two 87-year-old competitors this year. So
Wow.
it really is bringing together, a wide array of athletes.
And for those who have not been to the US Open, obviously, Naples, Florida kind of sells itself. It's literally paradise. But, just walking through the event each year, seeing all of the action and the experience, like you said, for all ages, for people listening, I mean, describe the event to me, every year and what it means to you this year, too.
Well, I love that it's your favorite week of the year, and it is an incredible experience. As you said, we couldn't be more blessed to partner with Naples and Collier County and all that they bring with like you said, it is absolute paradise. And the facility, to start off, is 60 courts. It's 65 when we're not running the U.S. Open, but it is a huge permanent court facility. Most people who've been in either as a spectator or as a competitor in Zing Zang Championship Court will attest that it is their favorite championship court in pickleball. It is the best experience. It is electrifying. So I think the mood is very fun and festive. There's a reason it's called the biggest pickleball party in the world. It is a week long festival, festivities of events, both from a competition side, from an entertainment perspective. And I think, the camaraderie that is there, you would definitely get a sense if you've seen social media in the past, but if you are fortunate to come, it is a lot of fun. Even if you are not there to compete, there is an athlete village with people hanging out all day, every day, having a good time, enjoying the vendors, enjoying the food, spectating on 59 courts that are fully open to the public. And the Zing Zang Championship Court, if you've got a ticket there, whether you're a VIP, a gold box holder, a bleacher seat holder, it is an incredible experience. And we've completely redesigned Zing Zang Championship Court this year. So
Oh.
we are excited to debut that.
I'm excited to see it. And I think, like you were saying, that's what's so special about the US Open. Like, I make it a family experience every year. Like my aunt and uncles, my grandparents, my mom has come out. I mean, it is so fun for someone, beyond the person that's just competing. Obviously, there's so many courts, referees, which is great. But I mean, just walking around, there's so many vendors, there's music. It really feels like a party. So, what can people look forward to this year in terms of sponsors and entertainment kind of going around the park?
We are definitely blessed with our sponsors who are back from prior years, and we have new sponsors this year. Officially, the Minto U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, powered by Margarita, gives a little glimpse into some of our sponsor at the headline. Margaritaville has a unique area this year, the Margaritaville Beach. And yes,
Oh.
we have recreated a beach with sand and beach chairs and a bar. Very fun area. There is, like you said, vendors from pickleball apparel, pickleball gear, a number of, kind of related. There's also a wellness area this year where athletes and spectators can potentially partake in getting their bodies taken care of and making sure that they're staying well and healthy. Um, there is a incredible amount of food this year too. So there's additional vendors, new vendors. It's a series of food trucks, bars, and other areas that you can get food on the back patio by the pro shop. Some of the folks who've been here before or have heard we have a big video board. Well, this year we have a second video board. So
Oh.
two huge video boards where you can watch what's going on Zing Zang Championship Court. You get updates throughout the day, what's happening. You can partake in clinics. We have pro clinics in the beginning of the week, which are fully, unfortunately, right now, fortunately or unfortunately, fully sold out. Um,
Yes.
we have a kids clinic that Annalie Waters and Lee Waters are going to do. There's going to be some special announcements with some meet and greet and signings that are going to be happening. So there is a wide array, as you said, of fun activities, learning activities. You can shop till you drop. You can eat all day. There's enough to keep you busy for sure. So again, it is I think just as fun to participate as it is to be a fan and a spectator because it is all participating. That is sort of the mood and the tone. You are part of it when one way or the other.
Yeah. I'm excited to check out the new beach this year. That sounds amazing. And another thing too, I think is so cool is like as you're kind of walking around the grass area in between Zing Zang Championship Court and the rest of the courts. It's so cool. There's almost like tailgates set up. So like I remember seeing Pickleball Peru and just like a bunch of other companies or groups. It has like a very unique setting. I travel around all the time for pickleball tournaments, but that always really stood out to me and kind of the culture and energy in that grass area too.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing that up. It's just gotten so popular that the athlete village, as we refer to it, is all the pop-up tents. You can come in and bring a tent. Like you said, sometimes it's a representation of a club, like Pickle Peru. It's a lot of times simply athletes and their families. And they set up their tent. They have a nice shade area. They've got chairs. It's very, communal and camaraderie. A lot of fun is had in that athlete village. We're also, sort of fortunate that we've got a number of folks that come representing, as you said, different countries. So you'll see the, kind of the speckling of tents, and they'll have their flags flying oftentimes. Right by that athlete village is also the medal stand. So when the medals are given out, the medal stand is right in the heart of Athlete Village, and there'll be some special surprises this year on the medal stand, representing the 40 countries that are there, and sort of a step up in helping everybody celebrate all the medals that they're going to win.
Wow, wow, that's awesome. I cannot wait to see it. And speaking of some changes this year, I know now there is going to be a progressive draw with the pros. So, for people who don't really understand what that means, if you can kind of just explain that and how you think that could really enhance the experience for both pros and spectators.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the progressive draw is something that we went out before we made the decision and talked with a lot of pros to kind of get their thoughts. Do they prefer playing in I'll call it a traditional manner, where you play most or potentially all of your bracket events in one day, all the way through the gold medal, or a progressive format, or even a different format, which I'll explain progressive in a second. And the feedback unanimously, it's not even sort of quote overwhelming. It was unanimous, that whether you're a top pro, an emerging, kind of starting off on your pro journey, or anywhere in between, the pros really like it because they can plan their day. It's a little easier on their body. And from a fan perspective, you get to see the pros multiple times throughout the week then. And you can, depending on what day you come. So the way it works is the first day of progressive play, which is going to be Monday, the 28th, you can come and see the opening rounds of men's single, women's doubles, men's doubles, and mixed doubles. And whether there are 64 teams, like in the men's doubles, for example, there's 60 teams. So it'll be up to 64 teams will play on Monday, and they'll play down to 32. So however many we start with, we play one match to get to the remaining 32 teams, and then you stop that bracket for the day. So the team would play one match, and then the next day, if they win, they come back and they play in the round of 32, and then you play to 16. So you keep going 32 to 16 to 8, etc., till you get to championship Saturday. So it's one match of each event per day, of each one of the categories. And in the case of when you start off, that might mean some teams have buys. So not all teams necessarily play the first day, but by the second and beyond days, you typically are seeing every team who remains. So win and survive, win and advance. The pros know you got to win every game to win it all. So it's a
Yeah.
it's a great exciting thing, I think, for them and for fans. So we're excited to adopt that this year, and see how people like it.
Awesome. And I know too, other improvements too with technology, Pickleball Den, you kind of run that. There's a lot of enhancements for both players and spectators with the new technology this year. So, talk to us a little bit about those things and what people can look forward to from that side.
Sure. So we've adopted Pickleball Den as the official tournament software of the U.S. Open. And it's a very digital first platform, from registration to score entry to results. And, what we believe, based upon it being used all over the country in tournaments all over, local, city, state, et cetera, levels, is that it's faster and more efficient than what people are used to. So the scores get entered right after the tournament end, or the match ends. And as soon as those match results are in, behind the scenes, the algorithm says, who's the next team or teams to play, and it assigns them to the court. They get texted with notifications. It'll say, hey, Caitlin and Ben, you're playing mixed doubles against so and so on court 27. And so we go and we play our match. The scores get entered afterwards, and it continues to repeat that process. The fun thing is, several things. One is that the results are updated in real time. So as soon as we're done, everybody there or at home watching along can see how the bracket progresses. You can follow your favorite players. So if all of our fans at home want to see where Caitlin and Ben are progressing in our bracket, they can subscribe and they can get our text updates, and it'll say, Caitlin and Ben just got called out to court 27. They just won, and here was the score. Then when we get called out again, it'll continue to update them. So they can follow along in the same technology and the same method as what we are as players. And as that progresses, then, like I said, you can look at the bracket, you can see it updating in real time, and it's just a very athlete friendly platform to help navigate the tournament. There are a number of other technology things we're doing that if you're on site, there's a QR code, one QR code for everything you need. When you go to it, it's going to take you to the live website, US Open Live. And the US Open Live website will help you find the players you want to follow, get information updates, see the featured matches, link to the live stream. It's
Oh.
got everything in one place. So you can't miss it. When you come into the park, there'll be a QR code, scan it, whether you're an athlete or a fan, and you'll get what you need from there.
That's amazing because I know, like, even, sometimes my mom will show up a little later than I'm there and she's like frantically texting me, like, what court are you on? Or even if I'm just trying to run around the park and like find one of my friends playing, that makes it so much easier to just get those notifications and be able to like sign up to kind of follow someone. So that's
You,
awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
you can tell your mom now she can go on the website on live.usopenpickleball.com, and she could sign up now to get the alerts about you. So when you're playing, she doesn't need to remember to do it that day. She could actually do it now in advance and set up all her alerts for all her favorite players. I know you're the favorite, but whoever she wants to know about, and she can get that. We've also collected club information from players, and they've submitted their home club data to us. And so we're going to be
Oh,
sending out a notice to all the clubs saying, here's your favorite or your players from your club who submitted their information. If you'd like to follow along, here's how to do it. And so they can be notified of how their players are doing at the US Open back in their home states.
wow, that's amazing. And even just like the simple things like being able to, check who's in your bracket and you can just click on their name and their duper populates right away. I mean, it is just having used it from the back end before the tournament has even begun. It's like it really is helpful as a player and a spectator too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's a lot of ways to potentially be involved and to take in all the information and the action, and we're trying to continue to make it, better and better for everybody.
I love that. And I know obviously, big names, Andre Agassi, Anna Lee Waters are coming this year. Any other big names? I know Simone Jarging, this is an important tournament for her as well. She's running one of the clinics. Naples, was her hometown. So talk to me about some other names that people can look forward to seeing this year.
Absolutely. We have an incredible roster, not just on the pro side, but throughout the amateur levels as well. Incredible talent from, like we've said, all 50 states, 40 countries. Some of the best in the countries are coming here, which doesn't always mean pro. Pro, as we know, is getting more and more competitive and incredible sort of level to get to that point. On the pro side, we've got some of the perennial favorites, like you said, Simone Jardim. On the men's side, some of the top men: Chris Hayworth, Ryler DeHart, Jack Foster, Jack Monroe, Patrick Kalka, Grayson Golden. Um, just a great lineup on the women's side. Megan Fudge, number one female in the APP tour right now. Sophia Sewing, Katarina Stewart, Bobby Oshiro, Daria Walchak, Nicole Eugenio. Really, again, just amazing talent across the board. On the senior pro, the top senior pros in the country will be here competing. Almost too many to name, but all the
Yeah.
former medalists will be here. Dave Weinbach, the all-time winning medalist in the U.S. Open history, will be playing. We're excited for his return, and hopefully he'll add to his plethora of U.S. Open medals on the senior pro side. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible lineup. in the amateur ranks, there are, like I said, some great athletes that are unbelievable to watch, and I think it's really unique when you see somebody like Yvonne Lendl, or others from other sports that are now playing here. They are incredible athletes, and they have translated that to pickleball in a great way. And you see the juniors, up and coming. That first weekend of the Yola Junior Championship, seeing kids as young as 7 years old, up to 18, competing. There are some future stars in there that I know for sure we're going to see again and again. And on the
Oh yeah.
wheelchair side, I think one of the just incredible things this year, our wheelchair pool of athletes from the singles, the doubles, and the hybrid events is more than double what it was last year. It is a
Wow.
massive pool of wheelchair athletes. That hybrid event is so unique. We're going to be doing a hybrid exhibition as well. And everybody in Zing Zang Championship Court will see that, even if you didn't get to see it out on the other courts. But that is an event not to miss that's taking place also on Championship Saturday, a little earlier in the day.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And it really, there are so many stories at the US Open. Like I wish I could run around and tell them all, from the juniors, which that's why I love having them on the podcast. I've had a 10 and 11-year-old now. They are the future of our sport, but then also just, there's a few three-generation families that come every year, or a group of firefighters I remember that came one year. It's so fascinating to see just the diversity at both the pro and amateur levels.
It is, and the diversity I think is what makes the U.S. Open so special.
Yeah.
From kind of broadly, we like to say every size, shape, height, everything. It is a hallmark of pickleball, and the U.S. Open attracts, I think, everything that makes the sport so special, and you'll see that, and you'll see the athleticism, whether you're watching a 3-0 event, and you'll see what they're able to do probably in their early pickleball journeys, all the way up to the 5-0 plus competitors. And it can be a 5-0 athlete who's 73, and it can be a 5-0 athlete who's 14.
Yeah.
And it is just amazing to see that in this sport. And I think that's part of, again, what makes the sport so special. It's part of what pickleball is all about, and I think the U.S. Open brings those things together. Um, Maybe this is a good opportunity to sort of behind the scenes. People who are on site now and are seeing the transformation of the park and what's happening there. It takes an army, and we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers, over 500, and it is an incredible group that we would not be able to do this without, from our captains and all the teams behind them and the leadership organization. I can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough. But it is a wide array, similar to the competitors, of people who come together who are passionate about the sport and, really want to see a unique, special opportunity come together. So thank you from me. Thank you from everybody involved. We love our volunteers and everything that goes into it.
Well, and the volunteers are always so energetic and so sweet. Like there's a few in the complex that my aunt and uncle have a home in, and they volunteer every year, and they always look forward to it. So it's just nice. I feel like the feeling is mutual. Obviously, you guys are so grateful for them, but they're just genuinely happy to be there, and they look forward to that week, and you can see that. I feel like that's very obvious, and that just really adds to the energy at the park.
Completely agree. We had a conversation internally about a week ago about what really makes the US Open special. And I know every person who attends probably says, well, it's me. I'm what makes it special, not me, but it's them. And
Yeah.
and that is true. And I will say for sure that we think the volunteers really help set the culture and the tone. And we are so grateful for what they do, because I think you're right. From the person you see on your way in to the bus that you might take from the other parking area to the greeters, the athlete check-in, the information guest services team that'll be all throughout the park, the people behind the scenes who you never see setting up and taking down. It's just a unbelievable team that comes together, and we try very hard to, even convey that biggest pickleball party in the world before the party even gets started. And so it is a fun, incredible group that I am very fortunate to be able to work with.
I love that. And obviously, I mean, right now it's too late to sign up to play, but you can stay tuned for the lottery for next year. But for spectators, can people still buy tickets? And if so, how can they do that?
Yes, and to be slightly modifying what you said, people do get in last minute. Usually not in
Oh,
a new athlete if you're not already playing, but a substitute. We do have people who withdraw, unfortunately, and might get injured. And I was even at check-in last year where somebody had to withdraw as they were checking in, and they said, I just want to let you know I can't play in this particular event. The gentleman behind him said, "Hey, you look to be about my age. What's your skill level and age? What did you withdraw from?" And he said, "Can I get in that event? I'm playing in
oh,
another event," and we got him in. So
well,
we want people to play. We will do our best to backfill spots whenever we can. But your question about spectating. So Zing Zang Championship Court is the only area you need a ticket. Everywhere else in the park is free. 59 courts of nonstop action starting at 7:30 or 8 every morning, depending on the day. And at Zing Zang, the tickets are via lottery, and it does sell out several months ago. But we do have some tickets available every day that will go on sale at 8 a.m. Now, if last year was any indication, there's a line that forms well in advance of 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., we will sell those tickets, whatever we have, and that will be it. So we will try to communicate with everybody as clearly as we can how many we have so that we don't have too many people waiting, where they can't get one. But we do think that those will sell out very fast every day.
oh, I'm sure. And especially this year, too. Everything is getting better. Well, Ben, we are so excited. I will see you later this week. I can't wait. The Minto US Open Pickleball Championships starting this weekend. Thank you so much, Ben, for coming on the podcast, and stay tuned to see who will join us in the kitchen next time.